And still at this point, there had been no psychological evaluation out of all the time he's been there.
Okay. Now, on last Monday, was Corrine Pascal the court reporter?
Yes, she was.
Okay, so we did have a court reporter.
Yes.
Was Ron Pascal in and out of that that hearing? Do you remember who was in there?
I remember seeing Ron Pascal on the outside.
Outside in the hallway.
He ran up to Lori Shaney Felt and greeted her and was laughing as if his team had just won the football game. So did my ex-husband. Well, my ex-husband ran up to Lori Shannon Felt too. Ron Pascal walked Lori Shannon Felt all the way back to a back far room.
Okay.
Far away. The same room that I had just seen his wife.
Was that before
earlier.
or after the hearing?
That's before.
Okay, so Ron Pascal, who is the associate or the deputy district attorney, handles everything, all the prosecutors in Juvenile, was basically socializing and having a private meeting with Lori Shannonfield before your son pled guilty.
Yes.
Okay. Now, were you able to spend any time with your son in the courtroom one-on-one or
No.
have any conversations with him?
Well, I tried to, but his father was right there, right there. And I tried to talk to him, but they didn't allow. I didn't have any private time. I mean, when I sat on the outside there, he came and just had the look of, I hate to say it, but it was that same look he had in his face that night, just before he tried to take his life.
Okay.
He had that same look like he has given up and he was whipped. He just
Okay.
was tired.
Okay. Now, I guess the main question really is, what would that transcript during that 3-day trial, would that indicate that Carl Mond was involved in criminal racketeering by intentionally selling out your son? What did you do as a pro se appellant to get a copy of that transcript?
I we went to Topeka, a friend of mine, and we filed an appeal, and they let us know that we had to get the transcript from Corrine Pascal. And so she was on the phone. She had even called Corrine while we were in the office there, and she told us that we had to make an offer, and that Corrine usually always works with people.
Who told you that?
The lady at the Allison. Her name was Allison. She was at the court.
She works for Carol Green. Okay.
Yes. And yes.
Okay. And then did you call Corrine Pascal, or how did you communicate with Corrine that you wanted to work out a payment plan?
I called her, but I also sent a letter, and I sent a letter to the appellant clerk court as well as to Miss Pascal, and I of course had a copy, and we made an offer.
Okay. Now, did you basically feel that you needed to copy the appellant court just kind of as proof that you were asking Corrine to work out a deal with you so that you could get the transcript so you could protect your son's rights? Was that?
That is correct.
Okay. And then how did Corrine Pascal respond?
Of course, she had made a demand for the money. We made her offer, and she said no.
Okay. And how much was this roughly?
$1,060.
Okay, $1,060. Okay. And you don't have to tell me how you came to this conclusion, but do you think that, given the fact that your son, is a minor, do you think that he should have been granted pauperous status and gotten a free transcript?
Yes, I do believe that, and yes, I do believe it.
Okay, and so I guess it would be up to someone like Judge Burgess or Judge Fleetwood to know whether or not Corinne Pascal should have known that before she demanded payment. Now, because did Corinne Pascal tell the court that you refused to pay her, and therefore did she send some sort of notification that you did not pay her?
Yes, and it is on that piece of paper right there.
Okay. Now, and is that the reason why your son's appeal was dismissed?
According to that information, it was dismissed, but when I talked to Mr. Oldham on the telephone, he told me that there's certain procedures that has to be done first before the case is fully dismissed, and at that time it wasn't. So I was a little confused about that.
Okay, so, and when did you talk to Mr. Oldham works for the Court of Appeals?
Yes, he does.
And how many days ago was that?
I talked with him, it was last week, and it was on I think a Monday.
So that was about five days ago.
It was before, yes, around that or before.
Okay, we're going to kind of completely switch gears here, and I'm just going to ask you some hypothetical questions here. If this CD was provided to an attorney, are you asking an attorney to provide pro bono services for you to protect your son so he does not have a felony arrest warrant and is not incarcerated for 5 years?
Yes.
And do you have any idea when your son could be sentenced and when the clock would start ticking on an appeal?
Well, they gave me a date, Monday, October the 12th. I'm sorry, December the 13th. They gave me that date, and they told me it would be January the 11th, but due to their actions just a couple of days earlier of trying to have a hearing without my knowledge, it could happen any time.
Okay, so time is of the essence.
I did want to just briefly mention, though, at the last hearing, my son, when the judge asked my son to plead guilty, he stood up and he told the judge, I didn't do any of these things, the things they listed for him to be guilty of. The judge just wanted him to plead guilty, and he said, I love my father. I wouldn't do anything to hurt my father. I didn't do these things, he said, but I'm just so tired of all this court stuff. I can't take it anymore. That's
okay. And how did Judge Flagel respond to that?
He ignored it. Lori Shaneyville, his attorney, did not stand up for his defense and say this is not a proper time. The judge ignored it. Kareem just continued to type, and then the judge was angry at me because I asked the judge respectfully, and Lori Shaneyville, I had asked her before court had started, I have to know about what's going on with my son. She told me to ask the judge. Okay. Well, see, then when I asked the judge, I got in trouble.
Yeah.
And
do you think Ammons was in there at the time?
I did not see him. I did not see him Monday.
Okay.
I did not see him.
So it was. Can you recall about how many people were in there on Monday when your son stood up?
His father and the prosecutor, of course,
right.
Corinne Pascal, myself, Laura Shaneyville, and the judge.
Okay.
And, there may have been one more person, and his father, of course, but there may have been one more person. But
okay, and they did not want your sister in that hearing?
No.
Okay.
Or anyone.
Or anyone. Now, if we're able to, or when we get this this recording on a CD, would you like to see the FBI review it and get back with you as soon as possible?
Yes, I would like that.
And same thing with the KBI?
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay. Now, I don't want you to mention any names, but obviously you've been fighting the system for a couple of years. Do you think that what do you think the motive is for them coming after you? Do you think initially it was just kind of greed with Newt Frazier and Julia Kraft just trying to make some money by acting unethically for the ex-husband, and then afterwards, do you think it was retaliation for you for complaining to the TV station about how your son was treated by the Wichita School District?
I believe it was a combination of the greed, power, abuse of power. I do believe also my race played a part in it.
Okay.
I also wrote the administrator of disciplinary office, and I had reported Julia Kraft and Newt Frazier and Mr. Donna Trovick. So,
and that all happened before the bomb incident?
Yes.
Okay. And the bomb incident happened before the parking lot incident?
Yes.
And the parking lot incident happened before the arrest for supposedly pointing the gun at the dad?
Yes.
But the consistent thing that has been consistent, over the last years is that your son's been physically abused by his father, and no one really did anything to protect him.
No.
Other than you, but...
And I have been criticized by the courts for even mentioning my concerns for my son's health and welfare.
Okay. And without getting into any details, do you think that, and what I mean by this is, don't have to really give a time frame or a history, but this bomb incident happened near the end of the school year, is that correct?
October,
okay.
October 2007.
Okay, and prior to that, and after that, had you gotten good ratings or any kind of recognitions as an employee of the school district?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what was your job for the Wichita School District?
I was a paraprofessional.
Okay, and in that position, had you ever been put into a position where you went above and beyond the call of duty by teaching 15 kids and serving in a teacher's position?
Yes, I did. I had to. Yes, I did.
Okay, but when this bomb incident occurred, which appears to have been the excuse for the guardian ad litem to take away your residential custody,
yes,
and send your son to a certain suburban school district,
yes,
Muvane. You complained about that, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And how did you complain?
I had would you re-ask? I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you go to the media?
Oh yes, definitely. After the way they treated my son, I contacted Cake News.
Because they basically...
I'm sorry, it was Channel 3 News I contacted, but it was the...
Did you contact Channel 3 first?
It was on all of the news channels.
It was on all three.
The actual bomb that happened.
Okay.
But I contacted Channel 3 News, and Channel 3 aired my story.